Welcome back to the Nourished Recovery. Today we're making this incredible pork cutlet and veggie sheet pan meal, and we're talking about hurts, habits, and hangups, what they are, and how they show up in our lives. As you go through this week, I want you to think about Romans 3:23, what it means that we've all fallen short, and why that means every single one of us needs recovery. So let's get ready and come into the kitchen. Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome to the Nourished Recovery. This is a space where we nourish our body with healthy food, strengthen our soul with scripture, and walk the path of recovery with God's grace. We're going to be making a simple sheet pan recipe today using some pork cutlets and fresh tricolored carrots, green beans, baby red potatoes, and I always like to throw in my favorite sweet peppers. I love the little ones that don't have the seeds in them. They're great. I also have some ingredients behind me today that I'm going to be prepping for my week. I'm making some salmon patties. My mom used to make them when I was younger, and my dad didn't like them. So my mom only made them every once in a blue moon. It was something I really loved. I've got some rice back here. We're going to be doing some brown rice again this week, just so that I have it on hand for my week to fall back on and add as a good healthy grain. I've got that soaking already. And then I'm also going to finish off these pork cutlets. I'm gonna bread them in some seasoned panko breadcrumbs today. But what we're gonna be talking about today as far as recovery goes, we're gonna be talking about what these hurts, hangups, and habits are that I introduced last week when I spoke about Celebrate Recovery a little bit. I really wanna walk us through those and see what those are, because recovery is not just for addiction. A lot of people think it is, and there are a lot of groups out there that are very specific as far as alcohol and food and other types of substances. I've got my oven preheated to 400 already, and we're just gonna walk through some things in the kitchen. So I'm excited to get started. I wanna talk to us a little bit about recovery, these hurts, hangups, and habits. I've got all my ingredients over here already, and I'm gonna be peeling some carrots. Love these tricolored carrots. Got some red onion that we're gonna dice up. Again, I've got my little seedless peppers that I like, some fresh garlic, green beans, and baby red potatoes. So I'm gonna be cleaning my veggies over here and getting ready for the sheet pan. But I wanna talk to us a little bit about hurts, hangups, and habits and what these are and why I feel so passionately about Celebrate Recovery and walking through this. It has changed my life. It has changed the life of my family and those around me. It's given me a completely new perspective on life and what life can look like and what it should look like. And I want to share it with everybody that I possibly can. So as we're going through here, I'll talk through all of the hurts, hangups, and habits. All right, so obviously we all struggle with stuff. Nobody's immune to a struggle. Nobody has a perfect life. If you do have a perfect life, please let me know. I want to know what you're doing, and I want to do it too and see if it works for me, because that sounds amazing. But really, truly, God promises us struggles of many kinds. And as we walk this world, we know that there's going to be people we don't agree with, people who hurt us, situations that we are in, whether we put ourselves there by choice or whether we were unintentionally hurt and wounded by someone else. And so that is our hurts. That's part of the hurts, the wounds that we carry. And I want to be pretty clear about these three different things. So hurts, hangups, and habits. If you didn't see my Instagram, go to the Nourished Recovery on Instagram, and I have a post in there from just a regular post. You can go and check it out from the past. And it kind of lists what some of those things are. But a hurt is a wound that we carry, something that's been done to us, something that hurt us. It could be loss, could be rejection, could be abandonment. It could be some form of physical or emotional abuse at the hands of another person. Those are our hurts. What are our hangups? Our hangups are our thought patterns, the things that we think about. Those are the things like people pleasing, anger, control, comparison, even imposter syndrome, things like that. The things that we let ruminate in our minds that we can't get over. What are our habits? Habits are the patterns that we continue to repeat. It's the way we cope, the cycles that we go through. Speaking strictly for myself, one of the things that I've struggled with in the past is alcohol.
And there's been many times in my life where I was a heavy drinker and I just stopped. Didn't faze me, didn't even think about it. Better than a decade, never drank a drop. Even all my friends, if you'd asked them at the time, they'd have been like, oh, Carrie, she doesn't drink. You know, just everybody knew. And it wasn't like a conscious choice. It wasn't because I was an alcoholic. I just didn't engage. I didn't like it. Didn't like how it made me feel. But then I had a triggering event, an accident happened, was given some painkillers, and ended up not being able to stop drinking. I used it as an unhealthy coping mechanism, unhealthy habit. So that is a habit. It's the cycles we stay in, even when they do us harm. Those are our habits. Some people numb, some people isolate, some people perform, some people control, some people get trapped in other people's cycles. But those are the things that I want to bring out so that everyone can see that recovery is a safe place for everyone as long as you find the right group. Celebrate Recovery is a Christ-centered biblical curriculum, and it's a 12-step program. And so I want to make that clear. But please still come in the door, even if you're not a Christian, even if you've never picked up the Bible, you are welcome. And plug here, we have a Celebrate Recovery meeting every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. in Gahanna, Ohio, and that is 817 North Hamilton Road. So please come. You'd see me there on a Wednesday night, and you are welcome. Whether or not you have accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior or not, you're welcome there. All right, I got my carrots peeled. I'm gonna chop some garlic up. I'm gonna chop this red onion, and then we're gonna get rolling. I'm excited to make this meal today because it's something simple, something easy. I love sheet pan recipes. I love to be able to just throw stuff on the sheet pan, throw it in the oven, and let it go. Like I said, I'm going to lightly bread my pork cutlets. And I'm using pork cutlets instead of chops because they cook faster. And we're gonna be putting this on a pan with all veggies. We want everything to cook evenly. We're gonna put it in the oven for probably 20-25 minutes. And as far as the onion goes, I'm just gonna do some big chunks, some big wedges, and just let those cook on that pan. As far as my peppers, I'm gonna let them on there the way that they are because I've got the mini peppers. So I'm not doing anything special with those. We'll chop up some garlic and throw it on there. I am going to dice up my carrots a little bit. I'm gonna just go ahead and chop those into a few little pieces here. And then I'll go ahead and put some extra virgin olive oil on this. We're going to put some paprika, salt, pepper. Super simple, super easy. That's it. Nothing major, nothing extra, nothing you probably don't even have in your kitchen already. Last week was great. I got some good feedback about the first episode. Always looking for encouragement, for feedback of what I'm doing here in the Nourished Recovery Kitchen. And I'm just really happy to be here with you guys. This is a passion of mine, recovery and food, and just putting them together. I was encouraged by one of my really good friends, and I was always sending him pics of my kitchen and me in the kitchen and what I was doing. And he was like, you need a YouTube channel, you need a YouTube channel. And I was like, nah. But then I was like, I need a creative outlet. So although this is for you, and I'm happy that you're here, this is really just a way for me to grow. Okay, we've got all the veggies cut up now. I'm gonna go ahead and lightly bread my pork cutlets. I'm gonna use paprika and salt and pepper is all. And then we're gonna throw these on the sheet pan. Put some extra virgin olive oil on my sheet pan here. And then I will put my veggies on here. Got everything all cleaned. And I'll put some more on here as well. Some more extra virgin olive oil on top of my veggies. I just want to keep everything on the sheet pan, throw it in, and let the oven do the work today, and not me, because I'm going to make some salmon patties today, and I'm going to make brown rice that I've got soaking back there, and I'm going to let the oven do the work for this sheet pan. So I had a few questions last week from some people on Instagram. Some friends reached out and wanted to talk about Celebrate Recovery and what that is and what it looks like. So I've been walking through that with some people this week, and I appreciate all the feedback that everyone has given me on the episodes here. This is my first, like I said, I'm learning and walking through it with you, and I want to get better at this. I plan to get better at this. It's something that's really feeding my creative outlet, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the feedback that I'm getting from people that are watching. I'm enjoying that my friends and family are able to see a little bit more of me. I don't live by my family, my friends and my tribe at Celebrate Recovery and at church. That is really my family. And that's something I speak of often as well. We're not doing this life alone. I mean, hit me up if you've got any struggles at all, if you've got any questions at all about, hey, what is this? What did you walk through? How did you do it? How did you navigate grief? Grief is one of those things that I'm working through right now. My dad passed away last July, and I realized what I was doing with my grief was I was trying to manage it efficiently. I wasn't just allowing it to happen. I wasn't just mourning the loss of my dad and what he meant to me over my lifetime. I've been able to let that go and just allow grief to happen. And I learned to do that through the tools of Celebrate Recovery. I learned how to do that by following the steps, by allowing myself to feel and not numb, which is what I would run to in the past. But now I have the tools and I want to give those to you guys. Recovery matters, you matter. I want you to hear that you're not alone in anything that you're walking through. I talked about that in the first episode. This truly is a journey that we do together. And I want to make sure that week by week, that as I'm bringing new recipes forward, I also want to bring new ways of coping with our hurts, hangups, and habits and what those look like. Okay, so this is gonna go in the oven. I've got peppers, carrots, potatoes, onion, green beans, and some lightly breaded pork cutlets with paprika, salt and pepper, and just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil we'll throw on top of this again. We've already got some down on the bottom, but we'll put some more on here before we throw it in the oven to crisp up. And I'm just gonna put this in for 20-25 minutes. I'll check it after 20 and see what it looks like. I've got some fresh garlic on there as well. This week I want you to ask yourself, what hurt am I still carrying? What unhealthy coping mechanisms am I turning to when I don't want to walk through difficult times and difficult seasons, when I don't want to feel? And also, what are some habits that I have in place that just aren't working for me any longer? Next weekend, I'm going to be doing a look back. I keep a daily journal, call it a daily inventory, and I look at how things went in my life that day. If I owe anybody an amends, if I have to offer anyone forgiveness, so if someone hurt me or if I felt hurt by something, I process through that. And then also if I popped off at somebody or I said something that I know was harmful or hurtful, I apologize for those things and take ownership of my part. That's a big piece of Celebrate Recovery. That's a big piece of walking through this journey. I hope that you can look inside and know that you're seen, you are valued, and you are welcome here. At the Nourished Recovery, we're not just talking about what feeds us. We're going to be talking about what depletes us, what we keep falling back into that is a negative cycle or pattern in our life. You're welcome here, you're seen, and I'm glad to have you. Take care of your body, stay close to God, and keep moving forward in recovery. I'll see you next time at the Nourished Recovery.